Hi, I'm Kimberly. Welcome to Simply Living in a Small Town. Today is Thursday. I had to think about that for just a minute. I am so sorry I've been gone so long. I truly did not mean to be gone this long. it's almost Friday. This video will be out later on this day, Thursday, that is. Thank you to everyone who's watching. I truly do appreciate that so very much. So I don't know where to begin. I was going to do this video yesterday, and then because I was going to do a whip video, which I'm still going to show you my whips here really quick. I don't have a lot because the last week has been truly an overload for me emotionally, and I've been very busy but not crocheting. So I intended to come back Monday and do a video, which I clearly did not get done. And then I actually had a huge project planned for Tuesday and Wednesday because we had this break in the weather. I constantly watch and check my weather app. Well, not app. I guess it is, but it's on the whatever, it's built in on the phone. Don't mind me anyway. I'm constantly checking the weather, okay? To see, you know, to try to plan things, in other words. Please don't mind Enzo. He's just intruding for a second. Anyhow, so I had planned this project for Tuesday and Wednesday because there's supposed to be no rain, but I knew today, it kept saying there was supposed to be rain today, which it has rained today, which was another reason I had trouble getting this video done earlier today, because it actually, when I got up this morning, it, after I took my daughter to school, it started sprinkling. So, so that pretty much was how the day started. It was already sprinkling rain, even though it wasn't supposed to. But the point is, it did rain today. Now we actually had thunderstorms a little bit ago, like earlier. It was like earlier this afternoon that lasted till this evening. And we actually had lightning strike out back. Like, it sounded like it was really close. It scared me really bad. I was by the back door, and it was like somewhere, I don't know, not too far from us. Enzo, stop. Sorry, my cat is trying to be aggravating here. Come on. So anyway, I had this project planned for Tuesday and Wednesday that to be doing for myself. And so, because it was going to be nice. I did not get to last year, or, well, yeah, last fall, I did not get to demoing out a balcony that we have here for the upstairs. I wanted to get that done. I needed to get it done, but then the weather, and it just basically snowballed into it not getting done. So there's so many things yet to do, that I took that opportunity then Tuesday and Wednesday to take care of that. So that's kind of like stage one of my plan of how I'm staging this out, because kind of like I explained here not long ago. In other words, when you're doing a remodeling project like this, there's like things you have to address when you have to address it, or as soon as you can address it, type things. And that's just how it goes. You're kind of here, you're there, you're whatever you can get done. Okay, so that's kind of how I plan these things out. And I did this, like, I plan out, I'm gonna do it like this. It's gonna be, 3-step process or 4-step process or whatever have you, to break it down. Because I have to break these things down, and I can't do them all at once. You're driving me nuts. Come on. swear, he's driving me crazy, y'all. Anyway, so I did manage to get that demoed out. And it's basically just, the frame is great. It's just basically taking off the part that was at the upstairs part, basically where you'd walk out. That part needs, the floor needed redone. So I ripped all that out on day one, which was Tuesday. I had the bulk of that done, and then I had a little bit to do yesterday morning on that, or yet, well, I should say, that's not actually true. It it is true, but it's not true. It wasn't like early morning or anything like that. Early morning, actually, yesterday, I was out trimming hooves on our little miniature horse that's at my parents'. So I was working on that. I still have to work on his feet a little bit more. I'm almost done on him. He's got little, like, he literally has these little tiny feet, you know, because he's literally only about this tall. He's such a little sweetheart, even though he can be kind of a bully if you let him. He just has that kind of a little sassy attitude. But so I was working on him. That's what started my day. I felt I wasn't even going to do that, but you know, I go out there every day. I wasn't going to do that yet. I felt good enough. I went ahead and started on it, and then I kept, you know, it's one of those things. You start doing something, and then the next thing you know, it's like an hour or 2 hours later because you've gotten more engrossed in it than you actually intended to. But it was fine because I've been needing to do that. And then he becomes the most like woolly mammoth in the winter. He has the thickest hair that I've ever seen on a pony or a horse. And it's normal. Some miniature horses get really woolly, like really fluffy hair. So he seriously needed brush. And y'all, I spent about 15 minutes brushing him. He looks so much better because he had hair just like hanging off of him. So, and I needed to brush him some more. But I had like this, literally a giant pile like this of white hair that came off him. So the reason I'm bringing this up, this is so funny. So I had this pile, a great big pile of hair, and then I had originally I had this little pile. I just, you know, pulled off of him like because it was all loose. I brought the little pile home. I was going to show you all that because this is going to sound crazy, but you know, I was thinking about how, you know, people, of course, yarn is spinning fibers into it, it's the process of creating yarn. So here I go down a rabbit hole. Then I went on YouTube and I looked up, you know, do people spin horsehair? Because I was just really curious about that because, you know, his hair's like really fluffy and that, and I'm thinking, and soft, and I'm thinking it's interesting. I wonder if any, you know, like if anybody spins this kind of hair. And so I looked up and looked into that. I found a wonderful educational type video about spinning horsehair. Now, in the video, they literally, so they spin the hair only from the mane and tail. But y'all, I'm going to link that video if any of you want to watch it because it's not a very long video, but it's incredible. Like, the way those people live, and the original lady they show at the beginning is 98 years old. She is the grandma then of the like granddaughter they show later that is also doing this. And they make mecate reins out of the horsehair. All those are reins, which is what you hold on to, you know, like on a horse. And they're woven, you know, it's spun horsehair. And yes, it is stiff and bristly and whatnot. And I know because I did own a set of mecate reins. They're beautiful, but yes, they're really bristly and all that. They're rough. because with it all spun up, it's like really, it would be like kind of like really rough wool. Unfortunately, they're very expensive. Unfortunately, I don't have the ones that I had brought them in my house from my garage because when I was going through all my horse stuff, because those were really expensive, and I brought them in. I was going to clean up the bridle part that went with it. I didn't want something to happen to it, and so then when the house burnt down, that actually burnt up too. So unfortunately, I don't have a set of mecate reins anymore. But anyway, in this video, they show the process to do it. It's absolutely, I mean, I would love for you to go watch the video just because it's very interesting. I could not believe, it's amazing. It's literally amazing how they do it. And it's like, there's like nobody almost like across the country apparently that does this. I think it's just absolutely incredible. And the way they live is incredible. And I'm like thinking, can I just go there and live? Like, it's beautiful. It's amazing. They ride the grandma, I think it was no, it was the granddaughter, I think, was saying, maybe it was a grandma, anyway, was saying that the nearest neighbor was 16 miles away. That's like a 20-minute drive in a car, but they use horses. Like, they ride horses all the time because they have cattle and that. So they're like ranchers and that. But, yeah, the grandma learned from her mom, and it's been passed down for 4 generations. And I thought, that's incredible, you know. I mean, this kind of skill and creativity, because the granddaughter actually started, she's the one that decided to start taking the horsehair and dyeing it to make the reins different colored and put different colors together and spin them like that. And the grandma thought that was crazy, like she didn't really want to do it. But anyway, like I said, I will link the video. It's just really cool if you want to watch that. So I'm sorry I've rambled probably long enough about that, but I just thought that was absolutely fascinating to see. I just can't get over it. And the way they spin it, it's like they stand like 20 feet from it, and it's like a 2-person, it's literally the way they do it, like a 2-person job. It's unbelievable. So anyway, I was doing that yesterday morning. Then when I came home, not too long after I came home, you know, I started on the outdoor project, the balcony, finishing out what I needed to do there, because then the next step was I went upstairs, got a piece of plywood, got the piece of plywood out the door and onto the balcony that now has like no floor or anything. And then I have to come back downstairs, go outside, take my ladder, get up there like 4 or 5 times on the ladder in different positions to try to position the plywood over top of my frame, the balcony frame. So did that, got a position, it looked good. And then I had to so like later last night, I was going through tarps because I was going to take and put a tarp over top of the plywood because it's supposed to rain, you know, to keep the plywood covered basically in the frame and that. So I got that done. So like I said, then this morning it was already sprinkling, like after I got back from dropping Ava off at school. And so, yeah, today this is weird because I've worked really, really, really hard the last 2 days, physically, but I actually feel decent. I mean, like physically and mentally I needed that, because after my friend passed away that I talked about on Monday, I still just feel sick about it, y'all. I cannot believe it's just so heartbreaking to me. It really is. So I'm just, I needed that like project to do to take my mind off that. And it was something that made me feel just absolutely incredible. I did all this by myself and I'm so super proud of it. So step 1 is, you know, it's done, like on that. And I was going to shoot video of that and whatnot. And I was like, no, I should have anyway, even for my, like my own little video diary thing. I keep thinking that, like, I need to start doing that, because why not? Because, you know, you never know, because then when you're gone, people can look at that stuff, even if I don't, you know, put it on YouTube or whatever, just for my family type of thing. I have videos, you know, of my son, like when he was little and stuff. And I mean, that I've had for years. And you just never know what's going to happen. Like him, he's gone, and that's all I have left is those pictures and videos. So I was going to video some of that and whatnot, but I just didn't do it. And it's really not something right now that I want to kind of put out on YouTube, particularly just because I have reasons why, like some of these projects and things like that, I don't want to put out right now. Later on down the line, yes, I don't like mind that, but there's just, I have my reasons why for that. So anyway, I'm sorry about all this rambling. I'm like rambled for the last 16 minutes. Okay, anyway, as you can see, I have something laying here. So I have this bag. Remember, I was making this little bag. It still looks slightly wonky, but it'll be fine. So the bag is done. The bag itself, like, you know, I can get a hold of it here. So the bag is outside. I got to weave in tails yet, okay? But then anyway, this is still a whip because I've got to weave in tails, but not just that. It's missing, you know, something. I need handles. So this is 3 balls of the Lily Sugar and Cream in the colorway. I think, wasn't it? I think Moon Dance, something like that. This is all I have left, y'all, out of 3 balls. This little tiny, this little tiny nugget is all that's left. So I was almost playing yarn chicken. I was finishing this side up. I'm like, I got to a point where I was ready to attach, you know. I just crocheted back and forth, single crocheted. I actually stuck stuff in this just for the heck of it. But this part here is all single crocheted. So by the time I got these rows done, I looked at what I had. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So I was concerned about that because I'm like, I'm not going to have to get another ball, am I? No, I have laying here somewhere. I know. I'm a wreck. I really, truly am a wreck. You just don't know. Like, I laid out, now I don't see it. I swear I laid that out up here a while ago. Because I was looking for some yarn for this other project I'm going to show you. I'm missing a skein yarn. I don't know how this, I really, truly don't know how this happens. Anyway, I had laid out a ball of yarn to go with this. This is a purple. I think it's called Eggplant. Like the color of it. You will see this tomorrow, though, because I'm going to have, like, I'm just going to put the straps on this tomorrow and, in other words, finish it. So it's good enough. I think that at the end of the month, so there's a beach we go to. It's like 45 minutes from here. And it opens up on Memorial Day. So I'm thinking, as a surprise, I'd like to take my daughter, because we normally go every year, every summer, like several times. And because my son passed away last year, everybody was just lost. Like, we didn't go there. Like all the normal stuff we usually do, just fell to the wayside. So didn't happen. So I was thinking, my husband had told me like a week ago that he took PTO time for like the 30th, and then, which is a Friday, and then the Monday after that. So I'm thinking one of those 2 days, we just need to like go up there and just chill, you know, and relax, because that's like one of our very favorite things to do, is just go to the beach and just, it's the most fun. It's the most relaxing, and we love it. So anyway, I was thinking, see, I have a bag to take. So I'm like excited about that, you know. It would be great. We truly need, we have really truly been through so much, and we like really need that. It's very hard for me because my husband works second shift, and him and I are like on two different living slash work schedules, because I am up in the morning at 6:30 Monday through Friday, and take her to school before 8 o'clock in the morning, like 7, usually 7:40 or about. And like my day has already started. The minute that I get up in the morning, my day has started. So yeah, by 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like starting to wear down, you know, at least by 4 or so. So anyway, my husband leaves for work around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I hate that. Like, he doesn't love it either, but it's just the shift he's on. He doesn't have any control over that. So it is what it is. So like, we really need to, you know, do something like that, go to the beach and stuff. We really need it. Like I said, we didn't do any of that last summer because everybody was just so, you know, for my son passing away. So it was very hard. So yeah, I have a new bag to take. And then I have that other beach bag. I don't know if you haven't been watching. I made a beach bag. Well, I finished a beach bag last year. It's really cute. It's a bag o' day pattern that's a beach bag. So, and matter of fact, I don't know if that's still on there or not, but as of last year, it was actually on Mary Maxim as a kit. The bag o' day pattern for that beach bag. But anyway, so the next thing I have here to show you is the sweater that I started. So this is what I'm looking for the yarn for, because I truly do not understand, y'all. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever feel like, I swear I just saw that. I just did this. Where the heck is that's where I was at tonight. I'm just ending up my night. Tomorrow's fresh day. I'll have to locate it. That's all I got to say. So I got panel 1 done, okay, for my sweater. This is my sweater. Oh, looks like I got a hair in my eye. Anyway, so this is the front panel. So I think that's pretty. I love the colors in this. This is Hobby Lobby yarn. I'm trying to think what the heck it's called. Was it Violet something? It's like, you know, it's the regular worsted weight. I love this yarn. A Shocking Violet, I think. I think that's right. Anyway, so here's what it looks like. And that's really not picking. It looks gold. Y'all, that's not. It is really, really pretty. It's got pink in it. I don't know why that's showing up. I mean, it does look gold. You know what I mean? Like in it. But that really looks strong when I look at it in the camera. Anyway, I think it looks better back here. But this is the front. You know, so I got the front panel. I have started, and this is what aggravates me. So this is this part plus this part that I started. That's going to be the back panel. Maybe you can see that a little better. Yeah, I can see the pink, it's like a dark pink that's in that, you know, mixed in there. So this is the back panel that I've started. So between that panel and this is 1 skein. So that's not bad at all. I figured that, you know, I had thought, like, when I first started this, I was like, I'm going to need, like, probably at least another skein of yarn. Like, that's no big deal. My daughter is officially going to be out of school in 2 weeks. And y'all, her and I are so ridiculously excited because we have so many like places and things we want to go and stuff, and it is hard. It's hard to do when she's in school. It's just like it is so much. It's so much. And today she went on a field trip, and tomorrow she's going on a field trip. So she's like loving that. But 2 weeks, we got 2 weeks of this left. Her and I are like burnt out, tired, and we're just excited to like move on. So yeah, I need to pick up. I want to just go there to Hobby Lobby and get me. I'm trying to think. I probably need 2 more skeins. I'm gonna say. I mean, I would have yarn left probably with that. So anyway, again, doesn't take a long time to like do this because just granny swear, you know. But I just haven't been doing a lot of crocheting. Like I said, Tuesday and Wednesday, I did work on this bag. You know, I worked on this yesterday. Yesterday, that was yesterday morning. Okay. And I'm telling you, that's where I'm at, y'all. It was yesterday morning. So I almost had the rows done that, you know, I was going back and forth like this on the sides. I almost had that done. I left and went to take care of the pony. Run a couple of other errands. If I didn't have to run errands every morning, good grief, you know. But there's always like a million things. So, but yeah, this doesn't take long, and I'm wanting to make a trip. That's part of what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to make a trip to Hobby Lobby. Well, it's kind of all in the right there in the same area for us. There's Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and Joann. And our Joann actually in that area is still open. So I've looked online, and they are actually still open. Looks like they have a lot of yarn. So we were wanting to go there, and then, like I said, I want to go to Hobby Lobby and pick up another couple skeins of this. So that's kind of the plan. I'm trying to think. There's nothing else. I definitely did not get worked on, y'all, what I had intended to at all this week because, like I said, because of my friend passing away, it just really drained me, truly. I mean, I have still, it's just hard to, it's just really hard to understand, you know. I mean, things like that happen in your life, and it's really, truly hard to, I mean, understand it, and it's just difficult. So, and the other thing is, today was actually her birthday, so that, you know, I hate that. And of course, Mother's Day is this weekend. I just think, my goodness, like, that's really, you know, that's really difficult. So, I think that, like, I had counseling today with my therapist. I have a beautiful therapist. I mean, inside and out. The lady is just, she's known me since 2019, and she's fantastic. I love my therapist. I am so blessed, absolutely, to have the like most amazing therapist that just knows me. Like, we just talk on the phone, and she knows my expressions on my face because like, she knows me that well. So she's amazing, and that did help me today because I really just needed to, like, you know, pour that out, and it makes you feel better. It's not good to keep it in for years, like when I was like in my early 20s and younger, even when I was a teenager. It's like I would keep everything in. I would bottle everything up, and then I would get to a point where I would just like explode. Very much not healthy, and so I don't do that anymore at all. And I'm very frank with people, and sometimes they're not sure how to receive that because they're not used to. I think a lot of people, from my perspective, don't do that because they're afraid. Everybody's living in fear, and I know. I mean, yeah, I have fears too. Everybody does. But it's different because like I've almost been unalive several times, and I'm not gonna hold back like my emotions, and I'm gonna tell people, you know, that I love them. I'm gonna tell people like I'm here for you. I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna say the things that I'm not gonna sit there and not say the things that then later I wish I'd said, and I'm upset with myself. So sorry if it sounds like I'm going down a rabbit hole, but it's important that we get these. What I'm saying is, it's important that we get stuff out in a healthy manner, and you know, it's like detoxing your system, y'all. Like it feels good, and so that was wonderful to talk to her today, and like I said, she's fantastic. So that helped a lot. I'm gonna try to get myself, I figure, you know, back on track come next week, but it's still gonna be difficult. You know, my friend dying like triggered. I have post-traumatic stress disorder anyway, but like that triggered then, you know, like the whole thing with my son dying. There's very much similarities between his passing and hers, although quite a difference because my son, um, well, kind of the same with her too, but you know, my son, like, there was no reason for his passing, truly, because he was medically neglected, essentially, and there's no reason for that. There's literally no excuse for that ever. So, but like my friend, she had something going on and felt sick and whatever, and she didn't want to go to the hospital. So there again, like, I mean, she could have possibly, if she went to the hospital, like she could have, like, you know, lived, but don't really know that. So they don't know exactly like what was wrong with her. So anyhow, so there's that, and it's that triggered that, and then I get triggered. It's like every time that something triggers me, like then with my son, it's like it's a thing that it goes backwards with me, where then it triggers and brings up like the whole house fire thing, and the fact that I didn't die in that, and yet I lived, and it's like, and why? Um, I mean, I know that sounds terrible. Now, don't get me wrong. I am absolutely grateful. I pray every single day. Thank you, Lord, for another glorious day of life that you've given me. I do. I do this daily. But, you know, right after that happened, I couldn't understand it. Why? Because I was put through hell after that happened, by people because of that happening. And it's just like, well, why did I live through this to go through this now? So also, which I'm going to wrap this up in a second. I was just thinking about this, but the other reason I felt strongly that way as to like why did I survive this? I mean, it's not because I didn't want to, trust me, that's not what I mean, but it's between the stuff that I went through after that. It's not only that, y'all. So we had 15 cats. We literally had 15 cats because we had 2 cats. Everybody was fixed except for 2 females that we could not get fixed. Well, we needed to get them fixed because all of a sudden the country was shutting down because of COVID. So they both had a litter of kittens, and I can't remember, I think, yeah, they both had like 5 kittens apiece. Was it 4 or 5? So anyway, that's how come we had like that many, even though we obviously had quite a few besides them. But our house, like my house was huge. So it was like no big deal. And when it was warm, most of them would go outside and, you know, lay out in the yard and that and come back in, you know, to eat dinner and then stay in for the night and stuff. So, but anyway, I felt the strongest guilt for surviving, because most of those cats lost their life in that, and that I can't bring them back. Like it broke our heart that that happened. Like, we had one that was rescued out of the basement, and the basement was flooded at the point the firefighter rescued him. He was swimming in the water in the basement, and the water was all from the fire department, like spraying the water into the house. And they brought him to us, and he literally had like plastic melted to his tail, had his mouth gaping open because he couldn't breathe because of the smoke inhalation. And due to that, he ended up the very next morning passing away. So there was, most of them didn't even make it that far. A lot of them did pass away from smoke inhalation, but it was horrifying, to say the least. We were trying to look for all of them and catch them, or whatever we could do the day that fire happened. And it was horrifying to go through like the wreckage of that situation, and keep finding cats. Basically, I mean, that went on the whole first year. I kept finding another cat and another cat, and it was just, so yeah, I still feel like I should have done more. I should have done this, I should have done that. Again, hindsight's always 20/20 though. You always do that. I mean, I can't change it, but it's so hard, because it's painful that all that happened. And my husband has literally cried over those cats like that, and he will not look at any pictures from back then of like him and any of those cats, or just any of those cats in general, because he can't do it. It's too painful for him, and I do understand that. So I'm sorry for all my rambling here, but anyway, there was a point in that. There's nothing wrong with, that was the point I was trying to make. There is nothing, absolutely nothing ever wrong with getting a therapist. I didn't believe in it way back when. I thought that was like taboo. My husband talked me into it, because I was at the lowest point at the end of 2018. I was at the lowest point that I'd been at in the longest time. And he couldn't help me. And he told me, you need to reach out to this place, I'm telling you, because they can help you. And he was right. So I just want y'all to know, there's no shame whatsoever in getting a therapist or counseling. You do what you need to do, y'all. I love y'all. I thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far through the video, I love y'all anyway. But if you've made it this far, you're a rock star. And I will see you tomorrow in the next one. Thank you so much now. Bye. God bless.